Hello, welcome to the Booker's Kitchen Table Talk. I am your girl, Pastor Tina B.
I'm Politic P. What's up? What's up?
We're in this building, hubby and I. We are here. Y'all know what we do on Tuesday night.
Live.
Live. It's
What's
Kitchen Table Talk. It's Kitchen Table Talk with the Bookers. I am so happy. You guys, I'm so happy that you are here tonight. We got some bomb couples. We got some guests. It's not just us tonight.
Let's introduce themselves. Tell me about what's going on.
Yes, exactly. So they're going to come in a second. We want to say welcome for being a part of Booker's Kitchen. Hold on, y'all. Let me fix my dirty wig. I know how I have to do with these wigs when I'm on camera because what happened? Sponsored by True Cosmetics and the True Brooklyn Born brand on tonight. So tonight we are going to get all into it. Me and Politic P invited two amazing couples. They're going to come from behind stage in a moment. Yes. And y'all drop your comments. Do all the good
questions.
Yeah. Drop the comments. Get with us and feel free.
Business and see what's going on.
Right. And y'all let us know if y'all hear any feedback, because if y'all hear feedback, then we'll get it all the way together. We appreciate y'all for joining in. I see y'all popping in. Y'all ready for everything we're going to talk about tonight. I hope you all had a wonderful and blessed week. I hope God was with you. He spoke to you. You did something different. You got a little closer to him this week than you was last week or yesterday. So, first of all, we're going to do a couple of little things. And I'll be right back with our guest.
Been that way for so long, the sight became familiar. Then your love came in just like a knife. Been that way for so long, the sight became familiar. Then your love came in just like a knife.
Awesome. I'm back. Your girl, Pastor T. And this is my hubby, the homie, the best friend.
Politic P. What's up?
Yeah, he rocking the bucket today. Oh, we usually give you a shameless plug with what we rocking for the Tuesdays, right? So tonight, we going retro tonight. He got his drip. What's your drip?
Some Fila.
He Fila down tonight. I'm rocking with the classic Champion joint. We rocking that red, white, and blue. And not because America is so great. It's just because we like the colors. How about that? So, we're getting ready to introduce each couple. And I'm going to introduce each couple one at a time so they can come in.
B&B, what's up? B&B in the building.
What up? You see him in the comments? See him in the
comments in my IG.
Okay. I see y'all.
You got some good? Yeah, I'm trying to get my screen better for him. He can get it.
Okay. So listen, make sure y'all chat with us. I'm going to make sure that I start a watch party myself so I can see your comments. And hold on, because I like to watch it and see what y'all be saying. You know what I mean? Okay. So I'm going to start a watch party myself.
Yeah.
And because I know it's always a delay on social media.
You gotta introduce themselves.
And we're going to call the couples in, and we're going to allow them to
tell the viewers about themselves, what they do.
How about it? Period. Yeah. Hold on. Okay, share in that group as well. Okay. So now I get to see the comments in the watch party. Awesome. Hold on.
Celtics winning. Those who ain't watching the game, Celtics winning, y'all.
Babe.
Oh, my bad.
Babe. Okay. Now, I'm going to come in with, I want to introduce the Gavins. I'm going to bring them from behind me. Yes, I'm going to add
What's up, y'all?
Hey. Hi, guys.
What's
up?
Hey.
What up, yo?
Okay, first, we want you guys to introduce yourselves.
Tell the viewers what y'all about.
Not yet. Just who they are first. Just
okay, got it.
Just say names, Pete. Just say names. Y'all know the book is a little ghetto.
Hey. Hi, I'm Alicia Gavin.
I'm Rashid Gavin.
And they are the Gavins. That is Alicia and Rashid, and they my peoples. Y'all know they my
Gotcha.
peoples, and I only know good peoples. We only mess with good peoples.
That's it.
So these are the Gavins, and I wanted them on tonight because they are a part of the Business of Love crew, talent and everything, but they are so much more than that. And I wanted them to talk about how long they've been married, their children. We're gonna be talking about parenting. We're gonna be talking about family. We're going to be talking about all that and above.
Everything
and
for the people.
I wanted to ask you guys first, how long have you been married?
We've been married 1 year.
How long have you been together?
11 years.
Oh, I got some good questions. I got some good questions. Oh my God, I got some good questions. Oh my God, I got some good questions. Yes. Okay. So married 1, together 11.
Yes.
Any children?
We have 4 children.
4.
Okay.
All together or
2
bonus babies?
I had 2 previous before I got him. When I got with him, they were babies. My daughter was about 1.5 years, and my son was about 8 months, 7, 8 months.
Okay.
I knew it. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I know.
Okay.
So good. Right there.
Those are his kids.
Watch your mouth. Like, watch your mouth. That's right. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, listen. We got to watch our mouth. We got.
Yes.
They don't play that. They don't play that. Okay. So I'm getting ready to bring in another wonderful couple. The Kinseys. Hey. Hey. Okay. Can you introduce yourselves?
My name is Rod Kinsey, and this is my lovely wife.
Hi, everyone. I'm Tona Kinsey.
All right, now, right.
How long have you been married?
We've been married 6. We've been together 13.
Married 6. You taking notes? We got 1 and 11, 6
and 13. Game.
Got you.
1 and 11, 6 and 13.
I got it.
How many children together in bonus?
Until IG hit them.
So between us, we don't have any children together, but between us, we have 4. And they're all adults.
You got all adults. They said y'all
and they all adults, which is why we was like, no, we don't really need to have. We done did that already.
Listen,
so now they can do their own thing. Yeah.
Okay, so I just want to make sure that I'm not missing. Y'all know how I am. I don't want to miss any comments. Oh, you know what? I'm so sorry. I should have known. As I always tell you guys, check the privacy. I was wondering why people wasn't able to comment. I was like, wait, something's not right. And I got so hyper with you guys that I forgot to make it public, but I just did. So everybody will be able to share it with a watch party now. Just in case you weren't able to share with your watch party, it is open to everyone now. So we can definitely make it happen at this point. It's good. We're good. I know Alicia wanted to do that, and anybody else who wanted to share it, you can actually share it now, and I will share it as well. Because I know our peoples be wanting to know what we're doing, and this is going to be good, and I don't want nobody to miss this. I promise you, I don't want nobody to miss this. I'll restart my watch party. Okay, because there are people watching. I think we actually have this says like 4. I'm seeing checks up and all of the good stuff, and so we do have people watching, and I didn't want to get into the good stuff before before we have everybody in who actually wants to watch with us. So the reason why I asked, I'll tell you about us that people don't know is we've been together.
What's up? So us? What's going on?
It's on us, homie.
We've been together what?
He said what? We've been together for almost 18 years. And we've been no, I'm lying.
20, right?
We've been together for almost 20 years. I'm sorry. We've been together.
Almost 20.
Yeah.
You start thinking that you're like, 20. Wow.
P be like, I was rocking with you for almost 2 decades.
Huh.
Okay, so all right. So we've been together for almost 20.
Almost that 25 life. Almost that bid time, that heavy bid time. Almost that heavy bid time.
or whatever. It's almost bedtime. Oh my God. So so basically we have Ebony, we have one. And I say one together, right? One together because just like you guys are, I was a single mom, and Ebony was 6, almost turning 7. And so we raised her together, and people say, you know, we had this conversation. This is a good way to go. I wanted to go into this conversation about those who had children together, those who didn't, those who have both have babies together that they share, and you have children that you made together. And I want to talk about the co-parenting thing and the why we didn't and why we did, right? Yeah. And Rod and Tona already was saying that we were like, look, we've been around that road. We good with these. Let's get these out the house so we can enjoy life, right? And you guys have your babies together, and you and Rod over there raising them all. You know, that's the whole smorgasbord, right?
We in the trenches, man. We still in the middle of the battle right now. So,
but you for us. You said you in the trenches. So, also. We're going to get into that. I also want to say, I want you guys to talk about who you are, who you are, and what is it that you actually do, like professionally, if you don't mind sharing with the audience. And I'll start with the Gavins.
Okay. Let me start back.
Go ahead, Toast.
Hey, I'm a psychologist. I'm a doctor. So most people at my job call me Dr. Delgado. That's my maiden name.
Period.
So my maiden name is Dr. Delgado Agudio, but most people can't pronounce the second part of, medical name. So they usually say Dr. D or Dr. Delgado. So
right.
With that, I work at Creeper Psychiatric Center. So I worked there years ago, and actually started back a few months ago. And I also work at Rikers Island part-time. And I'm a psychologist with officers and the staff there. On the side, I do private practice. So I see clients, I see children, adults, as young as 5 years old to as old as 85. I see couples of favorite families. I've been in this field since I was about 19, so almost 17 years. I started out the gate knowing what I wanted to do, and us together we're building our business, building our brands. I speak, I do seminars. I started writing 2 books.
Come on with it.
Together. So, we're just making our way, getting the business up and doing what we got to do.
Period.
It's good like that. It's good. It's good.
Go ahead, Hub.
I don't do nothing. I just stay at home and make sure that the checks don't get spent on Fashion Nova. And I'm saying,
Go ahead, tell them.
Go ahead.
I don't even know if I can categorize what I do. I'm a full-time dad. I pick them up, I change diapers, I wipe them. I'm also a video editor. I do that freelance. I actually contract with minor league baseball, and I cut their videos for them from time to time, from season to season. Before this whole quarantine and coronavirus thing, I've done everything from security to work in retail. I kind of get money anyway. I gotta get legally.
My type of guy. My type.
Good, right? That's
good.
good.
My biggest title is actually really being a full-time father, and a lot of people kind of take that for granted and say, "All right, well, that's not really a job and pay." But she couldn't do what she does. I'm not at home taking care of everything until she gets home, and then I go to work. So that's how.
Say that.
Yep.
Gotcha.
I need you to say that. I need you to say that again,
great
brother.
Teamwork right there. That's great teamwork.
Yeah, we couldn't do it without the other. We won. I mean, that's one thing I've learned. Most importantly, in this first year of marriage, thankfully we got through it happily, still in love with each other. But just realizing how important she is to my life and my existence. You know what I'm saying? And appreciating that. That's really been one of the blessings I've gotten out of being married. A lot of guys young don't want to have nothing to do with marriage or loyalty or all that other stuff. But when you stop playing games and you're ready to be a man and you got children that's depending on you, you know what I'm saying? You really realize how vital it is to have a great woman in your life, especially in your corner. And, I feel like the luckiest dude in the world.
That's great, right there. That's great.
Just trying to make sure that
the biggest thing, accountability, right?
Absolutely.
A lot of young boys, they run from accountability. They run from that. They scared of that.
Wow.
Real men embrace that.
Absolutely.
You're right.
Absolutely.
Y'all better come through. That's right. Real men do embrace that, and I'm so glad that Ra is saying that, because so many people felt. Let me know if y'all getting feedback. Because we also on Instagram.
Yeah, we trying to get the whole.
And we're trying to make your volume up so they can hear what's
Yeah.
Instagram. Okay. We want
to
make sure everybody can, hear y'all clearly, because
this is good information, right?
Good information, and I'm just trying to get the screen right so it don't be in the way, but they actually get to hear everything.
Right, so
I'm going in. There we go. There we go. Here we go. They get to see who's watching y'all on FB and everything. Instagram getting the back office. How about that?
Yep. So thank you.
Okay, so also I want to ask Rod and Tona, like, what is it that you do, and then I'm gonna go into what you do together. Okay, so can you tell us what you guys do separately and with your professions, and what same thing, what you do professionally, and leave it there, and then I'll go into what you do together.
Okay. Well, I actually work for Human Resources Administration. I am actually a program supervisor. Homeless prevention. I've been actually supervising social services for the past 18 or 19 years. I've been dealing with the families who face eviction, families who need rental assistance, families who apply for housing assistance, and a wide array of different services that can actually help families stay where they're actually living.
Oh, okay. So basically, you're a service provider for. I'm just hearing it. This is a wonderful thing, sisters. That I'm just hearing you guys and you sound so happy about not giving back, right? Because you service provider.
I love the service. I love service. I love to provide services for families, and also in my church. You can ask anybody. We do everything, and I'm on the front line with them doing everything.
That's
right. That's it. And we need more of that. We need more of that. Honestly, we need more people to be willing to be on the front line. My Instagram, if you want to see this live, go to Tina Booker on Instagram. If you want to actually see the couple speak, if not, you'll just be looking at me and Anthony, because I was trying to give y'all the whole gamut, but that's too much work.
Listen, it's gonna be all good.
That's too much work. That's too much work.
Rod, what's up? That's on you, man.
But you can hear the guests.
It's on you, man.
Go ahead, Rod.
So I'm a middle school teacher. Going into my 15th year. I wish I had an elaborate story like the three of y'all got. But I do a whole bunch of other stuff as well. But yeah, I've been teaching middle school. Also been doing restorative justice in schools the last couple of years. So I'm a teacher, but when I'm at school, when we were in school, I didn't have a title. Like, I was a teacher, I was a dean, I was the guidance counselor, the psychologist, like whatever needed to be done as far as the kids went. Because once you build that relationship with kids, you can be whatever they need you to be at the time. So that's pretty much my story.
That's good. That's good.
Listen, and you guys, let me tell you.
You're coaching with the kids too, right?
Right.
Yeah, I coach.
That's right.
I coach high school basketball at August Martin High School. The school I work at is My 11 Middle School.
Help these kids get these scholarships.
Yeah.
You in the building, Jim.
Hopefully we'll get a season this year.
Yeah, you're in the building, Jim.
We all looking funny.
Yeah, I need my brothers. Listen, I need my brothers. Let me tell you, I heard something now. The pastor in me stepped in real quick. Go ahead, Pete. First, let me finish with you, and I'll tell you what I'm hearing.
Right.
Well, us.
Yeah.
What we do. What you do. What I do. What happened, Pete?
Okay.
Sorry.
Hey, I do a little bit of everything, but I'm paid.
So there's no y'all don't have a script in front of y'all. I could tell. There's no script in front of y'all. I could tell. There's no talking point. I put that right off the top.
We don't write no questions. I just hear it and we flow. That's what
Okay.
kitchen table talk is.
I got all kinds of, you know me.
That's
You know
right.
why? You know why? Because we want to be different from others. This is literally kitchen table talk. So we say something, we said it. We at the table, right?
There you go.
We at the table. We don't want nothing scripted because when it's
All right.
scripted, you're thinking too hard on it. That's why we don't send questions. We don't send pre-questions to our guests or anything because we want people to hear from our hearts
Right.
where we are, and we want to be real with marriage. We want to be real with business. We want to be real with the culture. And sometimes when you're like, okay, you're gonna ask them this, I don't want guests that I have to send you the questions and all that because that means you calculated. You're trying to figure out what we want. No, we want people. We want the real. We want to tell. Look, marriage sometimes I don't like you. Sometimes.
Yeah, we can say the scripture. Okay, my name is Anthony. I grew up in Brooklyn, Lafayette Gardens. They call it LG. You know, it's the new gentrification place now.
Who wants to listen? Nobody. See, so with us, like to know me, I'm retired, of course, after 20 years of corrections. I'm like Rob. We wear many hats, and I think we all do. And that's what I'm saying that I hear. I don't want any of, especially our Black men, to ever discredit any role that you play as the head of your household. It's never, I don't do as much as, or they may do this. Oh, no, because I could not have did those 20 years for New York City Department of Correction if this man wasn't getting our daughter ready for school, and the bath taken, go to school, pick her up when she in a fight, come back, go make dinner, all that. And I'm talking about I need to sleep because they're going to stick me.
You had to
Listen. So I never want, before in history, it was more of the woman being home and making the most sacrifices. And I don't think it's anything more admirable than a husband that says, babe, you go do this because it's in you.
Yep.
And I got us in order for you to do you. And then we come together and we do us. Mm-hmm. And that was always our plan. It was never, people always say he on the job because P is an honorary CO. Everybody DOC, no P. And another thing, fun fact, and y'all get a fun fact that y'all going to share later in the show. Fun fact. My husband's name, for those of you who have not met him, his name is not Pete, P-E-T-E. I call him P, short for Pumpkin, because his nickname is Pumpkin. He was born on Halloween, and that is his nickname. His name is Anthony. And they be like, now Pete. I'm like, who is Pete? Who's Pete? Right? So I want to say that even with us, one thing me and my husband had a discussion about is our future and employment, being an employer, and what you love to do. And I want to ask you guys, for the audience, to know, what is it, the business that you do together? Because I just wanted them to know you do stuff apart, but now let them know what your businesses is that you do together.
All right.
Go ahead. Anybody can start.
All right. My husband, he's a screenwriter, if he didn't mention that before. So he writes scripts. So we have a couple of scripts and TV ideas in the work that we work with one another. I think it's great because we bounce off one another. He's that male mind. I'm that female mind. Mm-hmm. So he's the raw part of it. Right. I love like the analytical part. So we work on that together. Our ultimate goal is to open up a few centers, the Gavin Wellness Center, for people that need counseling, family therapy, especially people in our communities who can't afford to pay $150 a session to see a psychologist, or people who don't have insurance. A lot of therapists do not take all insurances, and that's a hindrance in our community. So our goal is to open the Gavin Wellness Center, maybe a few big cities like that. That's what we're working towards.
And the concentration on fighting against depression. Like you spoke, a lot of males that are in the family now that they don't have the job opportunities, or they're not the primary breadwinner, so to speak, how they deal with that adjustment. How do you become dad at home? Collaborating with your wife,
right?
Even dealing with your kids with this whole pandemic thing. Having 4 kids. We got 4 children. We got 2 older. We call them 2 oldest and the 2 smaller. Being I don't want to say being stuck with them, but being at home with them full time. For one, kudos to my brother that work in the school system, because you guys are you really the front line, because what you deal with on a daily basis, parents really have taken for granted. You know what I'm saying? We really, we really do commend and appreciate y'all for your patience and your diligent work with our children when they're not in our house. But getting back to my original point of having to deal with our children at home with homework, making sure they're not lazy and being on phones and tablets all day, and get some kind of drive in them and trying to get them to see what they want to do with their future. Maybe college is not the path that they want to take. Me and my wife both are college graduates. We both got our master's, and we still got to work to manifest our wealth. Graduated from this university, or we got this degree in whatever specialty. We still have to figure out how to hustle what we learned and make it a tangible business that's actually bringing in multiple streams of revenue. And that's what we really want to do with these mental awareness facility, healthcare, whatever you want to call it, programs. We want to get young parents like us that are dealing with the stress, dealing with having to deal with isolation, dealing with not feeding into the propaganda of news of, coronavirus is killing this person, but this person's not sick. And, it's a whole lot of mind games. And us as a Black community, you're always taught to just be tough and push through it. So what we want to do is we want to give you resources. If you ain't tough enough to push through it, come talk to us and we'll get you right.
That's dope. And anyone that's watching, we have those of you can go into my watch party or P's watch party so we can see the comments, because for some reason I'm seeing them in the watch party but not in the on the actual Facebook page, and I see it's a lot of people.
And we will mention your comments.
Because we will answer your questions. Y'all know we love a talk back church. How about it? So any questions you have for yes, exactly. Listen. And Rod and Yvette, please tell as well, what you do together.
Well, everything we basically do together, like Rod just said. We have a company called, and you can see our t-shirts together, it's called Butter by Eve. So Butter by Eve is an all-natural skincare product line that we have created. Our baby will be 3 years this year. And it's an all-natural skincare product line where we actually make our products from home. And we make them with all natural products such as shea butter, carrier oils, essential oils, and things like that. So we actually work on it together. I am the curator and he is research and development. So we print our own labels. We create our own logos. We create our own designs. I do the product. He does everything else. So basically, we work together around to just try to promote it. We have a website, which is butterbyeve.com. We also have Instagram and Facebook. And we have created a nice following for most of the people. Pastor Tina, and they are customers. They live by what we know. Our motto is
I need a re-up. I say butter by Eve cure COVID.
But butter by Eve was definitely a blessing during COVID, because our customers, we thought that we were going to lose or stop business due to the fact that everybody was told to stay in or be careful, be home, and things like that. So what we offered up as a part of our services was that we offered free deliveries on Fridays for our customers who purchased our products. So we actually took the products to them. We can, they usually pay us, or they could have paid us, when we got there. However, we sat them, masked up, took them to the customers, and on Fridays we were out for maybe, I want to say, maybe 10 or 11 o'clock in the morning till like 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
They needed that.
Together. And like I said, our products are homemade, and we put a lot of love and work in our products.
Now hold back.
Gotcha.
Because now we're gonna get into that working together, right?
Okay.
that working together, right? We're gonna talk about that and COVID, right?
Okay, yeah.
Because we work together, as you know, we have multiple things, just like the Gavins, that we do together, and that's what I love about us in our hustle. You know, as couples, our hustle that we all come together to be like, well, that ain't work next, you know. But we have of course Trulé Cosmetics. Trulé Cosmetics is my baby, and then we have the Trulé Brooklyn Born brand. The Trulé is a brand; it's a lifestyle. Yes. So with the Trulé brand, this guy just got involved with Trulé. He had wanted nothing to do with the cosmetics part of it, right? I get it, and I get it, right? He was just he does inventory. He runs.
I went to the post office and all that.
He's the runner. He's the UPS to FedEx. He's the UPS to FedEx, the inventory, and he is.
I got a lot of history in that field, so
he is the money man. And what I mean by money man is he does not let me overdo it. He'd be like, "How much is that? And why you need that?" And I'll be like, "Cause I need it, pig. I need it. Cause I need it. It gotta go with this and it gotta go with that." He'd be like, "Nah, you don't need that right now."
Yeah.
And I'll be wanting to have temper tantrums and everything, but he's like, "You don't need that right now. We gotta do this and we gotta do that." And that's the good thing about that. And we have Tab Media and Incorporation, our production company. And you know, that's how we're in business. We're actually in business with the Gavins.
With that.
Right. And we have Built to Build, which is the book that's coming out, and we're doing Built to Build, doing business God's way with your spouse and partner. And that's why it was so great to have our first guest to be couples that's in business together and also work in separate entities, because it's important for us to tell people like about business and doing business with your spouse, that it's not all balls and whistles.
Yeah.
But you still have to be married.
Exactly.
And love one another. Exactly. So can you guys
because
did COVID bring? Go ahead, say what you're gonna say. Yeah. I want to ask, in the midst of the pandemic and COVID, that we know it's not going, but in the midst of it, was your marriage tested, or did you come closer together?
I'm gonna let my husband answer that.
Okay, so we'll go.
So, honestly,
Facebook if you want to see the couples.
It just brought us closer together. I mean, we're already close. Like we in the 13 years we've been together, like, you know, we've always been like a unit. And, you know, now that our kids are older, like I tell people all the time, I was like, being an adult is like this part of my life is the best part of life, period. Because it's like you done seen everything, done everything. Your kids are older. So now when we move, it's just us. They're the ones that's like, where y'all going? My oldest son, Brian, is 21. And if we go on vacation and he's like, yo, so how you didn't take me? I was like, so you not part. It's couple means two, not three. You know, like
right.
He still think, you know, every time you go on vacation, you got to take me with you. But as far as COVID went, I mean, we were both home. Like once they shut school down, I was here. She was, when it happened, she was transitioning from one job to another one, and to the one she's in now. And then they had her remote, so we were home, and we was just it was all like I was hearing horror stories about people saying like, yeah, now you're gonna really find out if you love your wife and stuff like that. And I was like, yeah, I love mine because we both. She ain't put me in the closet. She wasn't sliding food under the door.
Right.
I didn't leave and go out and come back and the locks don't work. So it brought us closer together as far as business. My story is kind of close to P's story, is that when she came to me and was like, this is what I want to do. This is our retirement plan. I was like, all right, just let me know what you need me to do to help. And she was like, no, you didn't hear me. I said, this is our retirement plan. So I need you to do more than just be supporting cast.
Mhm.
So, I mean, my thing, I tell people like she's the talent. Like she cultivates everything that we make. And where I fell into place was I'm kind of a low key perfectionist. And as she say, me and my 4 people, like she like you and your OCD. Like I like things to be a certain way, and I know just from being a consumer that appearance is everything. So the way things look, like you could shine up a rusty nickel, and people like, oh, I'll take it here. Here's $5 for that. I was like, it's only a nickel, but it looked like it was worth $5. So that's where I play. That's the part I play in the business. Is that I do. Like it was a lot of it was trial and error as far as the labels, as far as design, as far as our logo, like how things were looking. My name is ROD, but I'm RND. So I'm the one that's in stores looking at other people's products, taking pictures with my phone. I was like, no, I need to look like that. And it's been a labor of love as far as that goes, because it's something I enjoy doing, and I stay in my lane. Some people don't. Like I listen. I use all our products. I just don't make them. So when she kind of steps into my lane, and then she's like, "Oh, what time you coming home?" I'm like, "Yeah, well, I got basketball today. I won't be home till like 9." And I was like, "Yo, just leave the stuff. I'll label it when I come home."
Right.
I'll come home. It'll be labeled. So funny story. I came home one time. She labeled the stuff I said don't label. I didn't like the way it looked. I waited until she went to sleep, and I peeled every label off and like took stuff and scraped off the glue and then printed the labels again and did them again. She was like, "Yeah, I did a good job with these." I was like, "Yeah, you did." And on low, I was like, "No, you didn't." Right.
I know what not to do now, and I know what to do.
So it brought y'all closer together. Yes, but it also gave you a clear understanding of which role each person played in the business. So basically, it gave you enough time. Even in our time home, it gave you enough time to concentrate on even the roles you play outside, because you're usually running. Everybody's running, but this time you were able to really lock down who plays what role in the business, right? Okay, Alicia and Rob.
So we were tested, but it brought us closer together. So because when COVID started, I started a second job, full time now, and his job that he was working ended due to he worked at a university. So schools closed down.
Right.
So now it comes to he's home with the kids, or 4 of them now, every day, and I'm going to work, and some days doing doubles. So it was tested, but us going through that definitely brought us together, because we both had to step back for a moment, because it's hard when someone's home with the kids all day, right? At the end of the day, they're tired. And when someone's at work all day, at the end of the day, they're tired. So we both had to say, okay, one's been home with the kids all day. I've been at work all day. But we still got to figure out how to give each other that time and space, So if I came home and he's like, "All right, babe, I just need a few minutes," I got to understand that, and vice versa, So we would test it, but it did bring us closer together because we had to compromise, So
Got it.
Yeah.
So that's good. It's good that other couples would know, like, you're not the only one who's been challenged, in COVID. I'll tell you with us. I think P was getting on my nerves and I was getting on his. Yeah. That being and because before COVID, I had just and what I mean by that, I mean like you home all day, you start realizing like, I want to watch this. Well, I want to watch that. Well, it's mad TVs, but I want to be here today. And I want to be here today. At first, because COVID happened, and then I was transitioning into retirement.
Mm-hmm.
Now come on, Mosquito, you're not part of this. Everybody was home.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's not our norm. We're used to everybody not being home.
Yeah.
we're used to everybody coming together and being home together in the evening.
Yeah.
When everybody come home from work, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we're like y'all. I think it brought us so much closer. I think like we kind of understood roles. He was able to really take time to understand the business, you know. So that was really cool that we were able to really tap into everything. What do you think?
I mean, it all like I said, prior to this thing happening, it had to take, it took us back to really why you with that person. You had to go all the way back to realize this is my friend. And I enjoy the person.
Right.
So if you didn't never really did that, it kind of, that's what a lot of people were saying, because before it happened, people had that getaway. The 8 hours at work, the 10 hours at the house.
Yeah.
But even when we was out the house, we spoke to each other a lot.
Yeah.
We at work, we calling each other, we texting each other. So it's just different now. Now I'm just looking in your face now.
Mm-hmm.
But if somebody's like, the people that who was used to getting away and wasn't even talking to their significant other, like at work or nothing, wait till they get home, that's when they're the ones that cause the problem.
Yep.
So now you're with that person.
Absolutely.
So to me, it was just, we in a situation. We gotta, and then certain things that you want to do together, but didn't have the time to do together. Now you say, you know what? Let's work on that. Like me and her start working out together. We started doing different things in the matter. Say, okay, to the point where it became a routine out with us.
Yeah.
So those are the things that changed in the matter because we knew we couldn't go nowhere.
Right.
But then we realized that we friends and this you my ride or die. Listen, we're gonna go out in these streets together.
Yeah.
We're gonna get us together.
Come on, baby.
We're gonna go to the store, we're gonna stay on the line together.
Yeah.
We're gonna come in, we're gonna take whatever we gotta take to fight this thing.
Yeah.
So that's all it really was,
Yeah, and it's like, because another thing about being married, the great thing is like you really rock out with your best friend.
Yeah.
Right? So like marriage really tests friendships.
Absolutely.
Because it's like, with other friends you'll say, well, I ain't gotta talk to them no more. You married to your best friend. You gotta talk about something.
Yeah.
You gotta work something. You gotta work something out. And I wanted to talk to y'all about the co-parenting, right? I wanted to talk to you about co-parenting. How when you come together as one, and a man who finds a wife finds a good thing, right? And,
let me ask one question.
Go ahead. Let him.
Okay,
come on, lead the way, Hubs.
I always ask this question to people. Now, y'all was married 1 year, and while you said y'all going on what? How many years?
We 6 years now.
6 years. Okay. Now I ask the question to people: Is it a difference of her being your wife and her being your girlfriend? Because if you're not married, I mean y'all just boyfriend and girlfriend at the time. The couple.
Take it away.
Does any
big time difference?
And I tell people that I said because at the end of the day is the main person you compete with. And people say, well, I've been with her 20 years and this and that. I say that girlfriend and that wife are two different people.
Two different. Very different. Very different.
People. And I say that to say
absolutely.
I said to say because responsibility changes and all different things change. And I said that the main people you compete with is that person.
Yes.
Yep.
Like now that's your wife, you compete with that girlfriend that was yours, of hers. You know what I'm saying? Of her, who she was. So I tell people that, and I would ask people, how is it? Because some people be like, nah, it's just still the same, but in reality, it's really not the same, bro.
No.
Absolutely not.
No.
Absolutely not the same as a girlfriend.
Go ahead, speak.
Yeah.
Tell them it ain't the same.
I am telling everybody it's not. A girlfriend and a wife are not the same. I don't care how long you've been together. It's extremely different,
Okay.
Number one, I want to say so many people feel I want to get married, but they're not ready to be a wife because a wife takes a lot. One, you have to be willing to compromise with the significant other. It it's one, you're not just walking away, you're not getting in an argument, and you're not storming out. You're not doing those things. And
Right.
you have to understand your husband's role. You have to respect your husband, regardless. I don't care who's making 6 figures, 3 figures. You have to respect your husband as the head.
That's right.
And I feel as though a lot of people are like, oh no, well, I do this. Women, let me say women. I do this, I do that. No, it should be this way. But you have to show your husband, that's your husband now. That's number one. Number two, a lot of people don't realize when you get married, your husband and wife come first. They come in God, they go God,
Right.
So God, then it goes your spouse. You know, not parents, not auntie, uncle, not cousins, not anybody else, and your
not
kids,
even children.
Not even your children. And when we say children don't come first, we don't mean you neglect your children. No,
right.
You take care of your kids. But if you and your husband are not on one accord, how can the rest of your house be on one accord?
That's true.
That's foundation. So if you two are a mess, how are your kids going to be in order? So you have to take care of what's going on with your spouse before anything else. Again, other than God, we all know God's number one.
Right.
You know. So the work. So okay.
So as a therapist,
got you.
And as a doctor who sees couples and counsels couples, what happens if you are going through something at home and you have a client that's going through the exact same thing?
Okay.
Do you use that same thing that you tell them to go home and make it right?
I do. I do. I do.
Hey, Rob.
I do my best. I do my best. I do my best.
What's your take on it?
Oh, that's the one you have.
All right. I'm gonna try to be brief because I wanted to jump in from the Corona thing, but
go ahead. Say what you need to say about the Corona.
My wife is very positive, and you know everything is very happy, and we are the world. And I'm fresh out of the 370 Wagner project, so like, I ain't see it like that.
Right.
Let me put the whole thing. Loving my wife and learning a lot through the Corona period. It was a tough thing for me because it was a transition for me going from the work world into the home world. So I actually had to physically learn who my stepchildren were. I had to physically learn who my biological children were. I had to physically learn who my wife was. Everybody's role and their character and their personality was my issue now. I couldn't get away or escape or nothing like that. I had to deal with everything. If somebody didn't like somebody, we had to talk it out. If somebody was feeling some type of way about something, we had to bring it to the table. If somebody wasn't feeling right inside, you know, it was good to say, okay, you're right, blah, 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 but we really had to get to the bottom of it. Like, really had some real whole family in the living room crying, little kids crying, old kids crying, and we trying to get to some semblance of peace. That's the reality of what really happened. Now, loving your wife more, the difference between loving your girlfriend as opposed to your wife. Me personally, I felt like it was a challenge of my selfishness. As a bachelor, as a man by myself, I wasn't really caring about my girlfriend's feelings. You know what I'm saying? It kind of was a situation where I still was maturing myself. I didn't know how to love myself or even love a woman properly so that she wouldn't be upset or I wouldn't do things that would upset her. So that was a learning thing in all in self. But the one thing that helped me out between loving a girlfriend versus a wife is that I learned that my level of sacrifice was different from my wife. There was nothing that I would put before my wife. There was no woman, no one more attractive, no deal, no money, no nothing that could deprive me of her love. I had to see her every night. I had to make sure she was okay. I had to know she was safe, as well as my children. And that became everything for me. That became my center. That became my foundation. That helped me deal with any kind of depression or, you know, lack of respect that I was feeling for myself. You know, it's a hard world out here on black men. You know, we get harassed by police. If we got a tail light broken out, you know, I've been frisked, slammed up against walls. I grew up in the 90s. So, you know, police and interaction with me was totally different. And my mother was a police officer.
Wow.
So I was taught how to comply.
Right.
That same thing in my marriage too.
You You know, it only helped me survive the encounter. It helped me feel better about being targeted. It helped me feel less angry about being a black man in today's society. And then it made me feel less emotional looking at my sons, knowing that they may possibly go through the same brutality that I had to survive.
And that's so powerful you said that, because so many of us know people in law enforcement, have been in law enforcement, but it didn't change the color of our skin when we got pulled over. It didn't change. You could say who you knew, who you didn't know, and they really didn't care. It never mattered. And they mad you got that. They were mad you had that. So as far as I want to ask about the children, because as I was saying, someone had asked my husband in regards to us having children together. Why we didn't have children together? And he's the they say your IG not working properly. You can't comment for some reason on your IG.
I see B&B comment all day.
He see your comments, B&B. So
I just see put 100.
He said he seen when you put 100. So co-parenting, when people ask us about that and having our own, same thing. What we talked about with Yvette and Rod talked about was Eb was a handful. By the time, listen, you know, people like, y'all want a whole bunch.
She was a teenager. Period. Oh,
hello. That teenage stage, you be like, what happened? And us having so many godchildren and doing for them and them coming over and stuff, we'd be ready for them to go home. So we clearly knew every time we got baby fever.
Reality check.
Yeah.
The reality. And I wanted to ask my husband publicly, because so many people say, but P has no biological children, right? A man, somebody told me, you got to give that man a son. Like I knew what God was going to let me have anyway, right? You got to give that man a son. He needs his legacy. And my husband said something to me that blessed me, because as a woman, I'm like, I'm barren. Like in the Bible, I feel like that. Like the man that I would like to have multiple children with, physically, I just cannot do it. You know, health issues kick in and it just can't happen, right? So I'm like, why? You know, that was my thing. And I was like, listen, God gives everybody something, right? And my something was not being able to give my husband his only child. I don't know how many he got floating out there that nobody told him about now. I don't know. But listen, that's funny. Smile, y'all. Give your face a break. But I always felt like less than. Yeah, I went through a period of feeling. I went through a small amount of depression from that. Like, oh man, why I can't have this baby? Why am I getting pregnant? Why is this? Come on, I just want to give him a little him. I just want him to have that. And we talked, and I was like more stressed out when it was like, to him, it was like, we do it. And we always wanted to adopt children, you know, because we love children so much. But like I said, we love them to want them to go home, right? So we realized we love them, but not for the stay.
You love them different when they don't go home, yo. That love different. That love is a lot different when they don't go home.
Right, exactly. And I'm sure it would have been different if we would have. Y'all good over there? Y'all good, Kenzie? Y'all good? Y'all can see? Okay. I know that it felt like, honestly, I'm not sure if they could comment either. I'm seeing Scarlett being able to comment, but I felt, and I know we have a talk back church, so I don't know what's going on with the comment section. So, but Scarlett is commenting in the group, so I see it is going through. But I honestly felt less than. I went through a period in our marriage where I was like, dang, not again. So we started the infertility process. We tried it, you know. We tried doing the infertility thing. That didn't really work out for me, because when they gave us the big bag of all the needles and stuff you have to take, we went into the drugstore and he saw the bag. He was like, nah, nope, we ain't doing that. If you gotta do all that, right?
Not easy.
No, babe, no. If you gotta go through all of that, you don't need it. Then it ain't for us. It's not for us. And I was like, I'm willing to do anything because that's what love is, right? Love is when you're willing to do anything, almost anything, to make your significant other, full. And it a sacrifice that I wanted to make. And he came to me and said to me, I think that helped me that helped me calm down with everything. He said to me, look, we got a daughter. We're good. Because I asked him before the final decision of me really not being able to have children anymore, right? I asked him, I was like, you sure? Because once happens with me,
that's it.
We listen.
I was okay with it.
And he said to me, tell me what you said.
I mean, I was listen, like I said, I looked at things. If God wanted us to have one, he would have let us have one.
Is that somebody's computer?
That's us. That's why I keep looking.
Oh, that's messages?
I don't know what it is. Something is unplugged somewhere. Don't worry about it. We good.
Okay.
Like I said, if he wanted to have one, we'd have one. But at this point, I was okay with that. I was good. I was good with it myself with it. I understood, And like I said, I know people that had kids and they not even fathers to their kids. So at that point, a lot of sites say, yo, like, you know what I'm saying? Doesn't really, put a stamp on you like that. You know what I'm saying? It's about raising them. So that being said, I always, I got God kids, I got little ones, young men I mentor coming up. So that was okay with me. I was good. And I felt like I don't like my legacy, like what I'm doing in life is gonna speak for itself in general. I don't need somebody to be like, yo, you need somebody to carry your name or your legacy. As long as I do my job, my name gonna be what my name gonna be.
Absolutely.
And that's one thing after a while I was like, I never want to put anybody under that pressure because nowadays the way it is now, kids become depressed because they can't stand in their parents' shoes.
Yeah.
A lot of times these kids become depressed behind that.
Yeah.
So like I said, I didn't see people who got kids who got millions of dollars and don't be fathers. I didn't see, you know what I'm saying? Different friends. Like, so it really didn't mean nothing to me. I was happy. I got into Ebony life when she was 6. She's 26 now. So I'm like, throughout all that, I raised her. So I tell T, I just wait on the grandkids now. And that's how we work it out. So
and you know what I find interesting? Any other culture, it doesn't matter if you have children, 1, 2, 3, none, they accept you. You could be a step parent. In the Black community specifically, it's not enough fathers. And then when you want to be a stepfather, it's a whole nother dynamic that people don't give you credit for. You don't understand how important that is just to even be an important Black male, a positive Black male for a young child, male or female, to see on a day-to-day basis. And that's one of the things that I want to get to. And I also want to comment on me and my wife when we first was having my firstborn, Talia, our 4-year-old. We were 3 years in the process of trying to get pregnant. It wasn't an overnight thing. And we were praying and we were talking to God and we were saying, God, we're good people. We love each other. Why won't you make this happen for us? What are we doing wrong? And I think if we had tools to say, you know what, it's never in our time. It's always in God's time. Yep. Good things, bad things, whatever. If it doesn't God's will, it doesn't matter what you want. And that was a lesson that we had to learn before we was able to even get to the next chapter of being co-parents. And I think that was a big thing that really made us love each other and appreciate each other more, because she became more than just somebody to carry on my legacy or give me a child. Once I got over that image myself as a man and was like, you know what, I'm good with loving this woman, and that's what our blessings together really started unfolding. That's when I started seeing opportunities that I didn't consider. That's when she started getting opportunities that we've been actually waiting on, and we've been everything. We've been through evictions. We've been through cars, people coming out the house, cars going. We done been through trying to get some time.
And that's so good. He's talking about that. There you go. And listen, this is such a vibe because with the Kinseys as well. I always talk about when you go through the trenches in love, right? When people, when they always say you see the glory, you don't know our story, right? We always say that, right? People say you see glory, yeah, but you don't see the story. They say, oh, they doing it and they got this, but they ain't see them disconnects for them light bills and them gas bills, and they ain't see them rent. Like they have to go in Brooklyn. You know, you go down to 141 Livingston, you already know what it is. Period. You already know that's like come down here and get that order to show cause. We love to tell that part of our story because when people see you pull up and they driving this or they got that, what about? Hello, somebody.
Hey, talk about it.
Out and we was putting on the tap on thing so we could have a little bit of lights because the light bill wasn't paid. Right. What about when we were going down here, when we were humbling ourselves, and I'm talking about I had a shield and was getting a check from the city every 2 weeks back then. Okay, and I'm talking about real is real. When it's like, yo, these ends ain't meeting up. When we didn't know how to balance our money. We didn't know how we segue. I'm so sorry. For guys, I know there's people comment and Scarlett put in the comments, please grant StreamYard permission to see your names at StreamYard.com Facebook because we're not seeing your comments unless you're in the group. And for some reason, I can see your comments in the group. But I will tell you, us three couples right here, I wanted 3 real couples on to set off the season of Kitchen Table Talk. There was a reason we wanted 3 real couples here because I know both couples. I know I'm connected to everybody and I know them personally and I know how real it is. And I know like me and these women, we can laugh and we'll cry together and we go through honey, and we get back. I love you. Okay, push through. Okay, we're going to be all right. We're going to be all right.
That's
these sisters love their husbands and they get it, and I could be so vulnerable around them. I could tell them, look, it ain't looking good and it ain't feeling good today. Or we can tell each other, I don't feel pretty. I don't feel like that today. And there's a disconnect somewhere. And am I ignoring him? And I wanted wives to set it off and tell them and I wanted wives who wasn't always wives.
Yeah.
Everybody wasn't the wife. I was his wife more than I was his girlfriend, right? But I wanted to talk to couples that's real, that's saying, no, we had other kids involved. We had to do, listen, we had to do the co-parenting thing, getting along with other mother, other father. We all, I believe you all have been through it. We've been through it.
We had our fair share.
We definitely
We've had our fair share of that. Being that we have 2 children, I have 2 from a previous relationship, and he has 2 from a prior marriage. And the biggest thing for me, like my husband stated before, it's about respect when it comes to children, because you may have a parent who really does not care about how the wife feels or how the new girlfriend feels. And the whole thing is that I don't care. My child has got to be over there with her. And, wherever we're going, that's where I'm going to be. And, the attitude and just the disrespect. And the disrespect in itself. And I found, the differences between my husband was married prior to our marriage. I was never married. However, the person that he was married to, I never had an issue with her because I always presented myself as a lady. However, the issues between the parents, I used to explain to my husband, at the end of the day, the children should not see you all in a space where you all are uncomfortable or being disrespectful to each other.
Absolutely.
I don't care if you walk in the room and you know within your heart of hearts that, oh God, I gotta go in here with her. Listen, pick that chin up, put a smile on your face. Hey, everybody don't have to get a personal hello. Yeah. You can tell the room, hello everybody, and keep it moving. and keep it respectful. So, because these children don't need to see us acting up, and they don't even know what's going on between us, because it's not about us any longer. It's about them.
Absolutely. Amen. That's right. Listen, that's a amen to that. And go ahead, babe.
Even with Ra, I commend you, 'cause like you said, you got with your wife when the child was 1 and 8 months.
Yeah, I've been here from the gate. I've been here from the beginning.
How did that work out? Just in general, because that's because they were little babies. So how did that?
Yeah, that's a real strong story, and I mean the short, long story to that is it was God, man. Because at the time when I had met Alicia, we both was working we met through work, and she told me the situation she had, and at that time I was like, the last thing I do is date women with children. That was the one woman that I had that I was like, I don't care how late, I can't deal with it because I'm not dealing with no baby daddy. Because I personally don't have patience for that, and I know I'm learning about myself, so I knew I wasn't trying to do that. But the more that I told myself that, the more our friendship started growing on a whole nother level. Like, this woman has such a relationship with God. I was envious of it. It made me have a stronger relationship with God just to be on her level of thinking and goals and having dreams together and stuff. This is all stuff that I never really pondered by myself until I got with her in this relationship. And then she started putting these notions in my mind and in my heart. And before I knew it, it was like, I love these kids because I'm around them. I couldn't even really see myself not being a good male to them. I didn't necessarily want to be their father, but I wanted to show them a positive male, in the absence of their father. Right. And like I said, God changed my heart. God showed me the value of a woman. He showed me the value of a man in being a role model in today's time and how important that was to be. So that was my motivation. And ever since then, it's just like, I can't stop loving this woman. I love my kids. I love all my kids. They're all my children. I don't separate them.
Gotcha.
And it was a big learning lesson, but I'm glad I went through it because it taught me so much about myself, really. But the biggest thing I will say about the whole parent thing, if I have a moment, was
we doing good.
It wasn't so much a toxic exchange between myself and Alicia's children's father. It was more of the disappointment he was creating in his absence. Saying that he would come see them and not follow through, promise them things and not do it. Me being left to deal with that hurt was the biggest challenge for me. How do you tell a child, to not that they, I never want to say that their father didn't love me because I'm sure he did, but he had other things that distracted him from being the best father. And it was in God's will for him not to have that together because it gave me an opportunity to step up to the plate.
And they have a question. You got a question too?
Yeah, I got a question.
Let's call it. And at what moment did y'all know you wanted to spend the rest of your life with your partner?
Okay, we're gonna let the Kinsley go first.
So funny, short story long. Me coming from a previous marriage, when I met Tona, I stalled her out. I'll be honest with you. Like, we were together for 7 going on 8 years before we were married. So I'll be honest, like when I was done with my previous marriage, I said to myself that I didn't want to get married again. It just wasn't. And I think a lot of that was the hurt of not, being in the relationship I was in, thinking it was gonna last forever. So I stalled her out. Everything I did with her, I did everything different with her than I did with my ex-wife. So she was on tour. So everything I went to, like, she went. And
wow.
I can't remember which one of my friends it was one of my women friends, actually. They said to me, they was like, you'll know if you got a good one if the women in your life like her. And I'll be honest with you. That's a true to form because I'm gonna be honest with you. I have women friends that I'm close with where she's become their friends and they got rid of me. I had one of my coworkers. She was my paraprofessional.
Period.
We have been friends for 8 years. We were in the trenches together for 8 years. And one day, we were each other's sounding board. We were sitting in the classroom one day during lunch and, we was kicking in. Me and Tona was going through something, nothing crazy. I was just confiding in her what was going on. She sat right there, listened to every word, and she said, yeah, I'm here for all of that, bro. But I'm telling you that if you and Tona break up, you're gonna lose me in the separation. I was like,
wow.
What? I was like, you don't even know her. I was like, you've known me for 8 years. Like, your kids love me. She was like, I know, but I love Tona. And I was just like, and between Lashima, Tina, one of my high school friends, Nicole, they've gravitated her, and I kind of knew that's when I knew. Tina was actually the one. She was like, the first time she met her, she was like, nah, she a good one. You got to hold on to her. And she really was. That's when I was living in 400. And Tina was like, we was about to leave. She pulled me to the side. She said, bro, I like her a lot. She's like, stick with her. And as far as what was the question again? I started rambling.
How did you know?
You had to be your partner for life.
I knew it wasn't long before I knew, but I still had to, like, my kids were gonna tell the story. They were gonna be the ones that were gonna approve of whether she was gonna be the one. I knew my son, it was easy. He, like, as long as she wasn't interfering with me and him, he loved her. And so that was never a problem. My daughter was the one I knew was going to be the tough cookie. She was going to be the one.
She was trying to protect you.
Yeah, Amber was just kind of like, yeah, she's nice. And then the thing that kind of won Tona over with her is that Tona spent a lot of time with Amber, so she would gather Amber and all her nieces and godkids, and they have like a 5-day out where they all get their nails done, they go to the movies, do stuff, and they got closer. And then once that happened, it was just a matter of me just getting over myself and just being like, nah, she a good one. And I'm like, I can see myself being with her. And it actually was one day in church. I can't, to this day, I have it written down somewhere, but I can't remember the sermon my pastor had preached. But it was something along the lines of, like when you have strong people in your corner, like those are the people that's going to ride with you. And I swear, by the time he finished, I said to myself, I was like, yo, I'm going to go look for it. I'm going to find a ring and we going to make it happen. And what I did was I picked her. Like I was looking, she was looking at something. I was like, oh, you like this? And she was looking at rings. She was like, no, I really like this one. So I was like, yeah, taking notes. And then I found it. And then maybe 2 weeks after I got it, I proposed to her in church.
Wow. Sorry, Instagram. You gotta go to Facebook.
That's it.
It was just, I knew it was one of the best decisions I ever made because I always say we met each other at the right time. Like she was just kind of getting over something. I was kind of getting over something. And like, not that I know I'm being long-winded, but
no, but it's love, and I love talk.
You know how like when you hear people like they have standards, like they like, yeah, she can't have ugly feet or she can't have kids, stuff like that.
Boomerang.
I realized that my standard was I just need you to be an adult. Like that's it, and that's a broad statement because
I need you to be an adult.
You being an adult is like you saying, all right, I'm gonna take care of the cable bill. So when I come home and the game is on, like tonight, right? I don't turn the TV on and the snow on the TV. You told me you got it. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't got it, be humble enough to say, yo, so I'm kind of short. All right, no problem. We're gonna take care of that because the game coming on tonight, and I got you.
Right.
So, you know, that was it. And she was an adult. And even with my previous marriage, she was the one that kind of was just like, I never like badmouthed my ex-wife to my kids. You know, they love their mother and stuff like that. But the stuff I was going through, she was my sounding board. And she was just like, yo, just talk to her and this. And y'all gonna have to get over that at some point because of the kids. And the crazy thing is that we are really close. Like we tight. Like you know, our kids are. I think when my kids were still young, we were kind of going through. But as they got older, like a lot of that stopped. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And it will. Like it gets old, and then you just handle each other like adults.
Yeah.
And like we tight. And she's another. Like my ex-wife and her is tight. They talk. Like she one of our best customers.
Right.
Okay.
And that's a good thing because it's a good thing because a woman who's been through it can kind of handle a woman that's going through it.
Exactly.
Whether it's ex-wife or whether that was a good one.
Good one. Let's go.
That was a real good one. That was a real good one.
Yeah, but I believe that definitely when a woman has already is sitting in that seat, but just they're different players, same game, different players.
Exactly.
So if your ex-wife or children's mother or children's father,
right?
A lot of times a person who like with him not having children, I didn't know how was him and Ra, how they just transitioned. Mm-hmm. That means that's God. Only God.
Yeah, only God. Yeah.
Because they don't know that maternal, paternal. They don't know that emotion to even connect with. Because I know, like he stepped in as a bonus dad. I say not instead, right?
Yeah.
He stepped in, right? What they didn't do was put conditions on the way they loved our children.
Unconditional. Unconditional.
And Ra had to. Now Ra has his own with his wife,
right,
and his bonus babies, right. Where there comes a time in marriages and relationships where the bonus babies will try to say, "Oh, that's only because he's not, or she's not. That this is like that." But the love is so strong that I could say, like, for my husband, it's never been a question. Like, her dad has been incarcerated since she was 5 years old, right? So her dad has been there when she was 6.
Right.
Now, both of her dads are compulsively obsessed with her.
There you go.
Incarcerated in the home.
Yeah.
It's this whole shout out. And what's admirable about her biological dad is to be a humble enough man to say, "Yo, thank you."
Yeah.
Not too many men are that humble.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Say, "Yo, we're picked. Yo, thank you.
Thank you, man.
Thank you for doing everything I couldn't do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for loving her the way I would have been the same way, probably more.
Right.
Thank you for allowing me to be in her life because you're the one in the house with her mother."
That's right.
And I've been in situations where it wasn't like that, where they can't get on the phone. Thank you for allowing me to have a and that's a humble thing for a man to tell another man, "Thank you for allowing me to have a relationship with my child."
Exactly.
And though as a woman and a mother, that would have never been a conversation for me because I'm never going to not allow her to have that relationship, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But I've never allowed that co-parenting to come in between what we have. And I find that we had this conversation before on one of the shows about how you letting somebody who not part of your whole situation infiltrate what goes on in your home. I don't care that you gotta, and I'm not talking about, "Oh, that's my man, that's I'm talking about husband and wife. Nothing comes
wife. Exactly.
I don't care about how your baby mama feels. Like, God knew that he couldn't bring baby mama drama.
Yes.
Because I don't really care how you feel when I know I'm doing what's right by your children. Because I'm not going to treat you as no different than I treat mine. Right? So when they come over here, it's a different set of rules.
Right.
right? So when we decide to say we want to be one,
that means everybody. Complete
that means
package.
keeping them kids together.
Complete
You gotta do
package.
good cop, bad cop.
That's right. That's right.
We
That's
do good cop, bad cop.
Yep.
I'd be like, he said that, right? Yeah. Your mother be bugging, right? And I'd be like, no, because, and he'd be like, nah, because but it's good because it brings balance.
That's right.
You always know one of us is gonna make them be accountable for their action.
Yeah.
So even if they say, oh, I got this one, they don't even realize we both mom like, you know what we gonna do? This is how we gonna check this. We like, yup, you right. Yeah, you know what we gonna do.
And that helps so much to have that because you know I was raised by a single parent mother. So when you only got her stress on top of her stress on top of her work, it's an ugly situation, man. Just to have somebody else not yelling at you.
Yeah.
It's such a common piece in the storm when you're trying
I
to.
think that's a blessing for all of us and the ones that's watching, all of our guests. I think the blessing is the cards we were dealt. I don't think any of us, the six of us, would have thought we would be called husband or wife.
Right.
I don't even think we were given the tools.
Right.
Or the examples of what was in it. And I'm telling y'all, I strategically picked who we wanted on this show tonight because I want to give somebody hope. And this show is about our kitchen table talk is to let people know, like, you're not alone in no situation. Somebody's been there. God allowed somebody else to go through it so you can get through it. So there's people, there's couples. You have Dr. Gavin. You have so many people. If there's issues with your children at school, we have a village of educators. We have creatives. If you have children that are creative and you want to know how to get them into the art, this is the village. And I introduce the village to you. I present the village to you. We present the village to you because we don't think it's fair to have it all to ourselves, right? So we present this village to those of you that are watching that may be saying, my marriage ain't what it needs to be, or I'm dealing with having to try to co-parent, or I don't know what to say, or I don't want to butt in, or am I overstepping my boundaries, or is it what okay, now, last thing before we close out, because we have like 4 minutes, because 9:30, I try to keep them on an hour and a half. I try not to keep you 2 hours. Sometimes we go into the 2 hours because it gets so good. But, but it is what it is, right? But I will tell you something. Even with parents and family issues, we were talking about this the other day. Even as the wife or the husband, when there's biological family issues, do you butt in or do you sit back and let them make a decision and whisper to your spouse and just let the family know I'm been it, but I ain't in it? Now,
with his family?
Okay. No.
Okay. Oh.
Go ahead. But Yvette, you was going to make a statement.
Yeah. I'm gonna touch. I want to touch on that because I want to go back really quick with the co-parenting thing, really quick, because I had a similar situation with Tina. Same thing. Me and my husband don't have children, but in the process of us being together, I became pregnant, and I lost not one, I lost 2 children. So with that, it was a real hard situation because we weren't trying to have children. But we were together and planning to have one of the children, and that child we lost. Right. However, in between that situation, it only brought us closer because we either knew one or two things: that it wasn't in God's plan for us to bring a child here together, but we already had children here that we were raising together. So it was a blessing in itself. Even though you go through things and you're still married, you were still able to mourn together. We were still able to get over the situation together. He never looked once or twice about my children. I never looked once or twice about his children. Everybody knew our situation as far as the family was concerned. We cried, we prayed, we got over it. We asked the Lord, listen, if this is in your will, then that's what it should be,
And the funny thing with that, not funny, but the thing with it is that when it's God, when like even now, we have our moments where we'll just be sitting and we'll be like, yo, just imagine we have an 8-year-old right now.
Oh,
I was like, Nah, I'm kind of glad I'm telling you, it ain't nothing better in the world than have grown children.
And I wonder what that's like. Sounds good to me.
Rod, just listen to me, brother. Just hold on. It's happening. It's gonna happen. It's gonna go quicker than you think. And the thing about it is that the beautiful thing about it is that you always have your memories, and you like. I think I have more times now when I look at my kids and I'm like, damn, I was like, that happened so fast.
Yeah.
Like I remember when I couldn't move without you. I couldn't go throw the garbage out without you. And you know, my kids are still kind of like that. You know, they stick around and they like, so where we going? I'm like, I'm going over here. Like, you want to go? You can come on. So, but you know, God moves like He moves in your life, even when you don't understand why things are going the way. The thing I always say is that God always reveals He reveals how He moving in your life after the situations happen, and then you sitting back and you just like, yeah, that was all you, man. I was like, because I don't see how that would happen. Like, I mean, literally, I'm 48 years old going to 49. Like, an 8-year-old, I'll be like, yo, man, we can't afford a nanny, but we going to get somebody up in here because I can't do it. You know what I'm saying? So
I realized that I couldn't even take care of the dog. I had to get the dog away, right?
So he want one. I'm like, look, my days of wiping butts.
The dogs don't get older.
It's all
the
word.
Dogs start walking. The dogs don't start talking.
They don't move out. And they don't move out.
I know I'm ready. I want my own. He like, ain't nobody bringing no dog. Because, and then but I want to say, you know, as we're winding down, and I do want to ask you guys, I want you guys to definitely come back, first of all. Because we have so much to talk about. I want to get into like a conversation about being a creative. I want to go into concepts about when you want to start your own business and doing business with your spouse, and the key things to remember before you begin, you know? So, because we're going to help somebody before they start. You know, people watch this stuff and they be like, hey, we could do a business. And you'd be like, nah, slow down. Nah. Not when y'all ain't been speaking for 3 weeks. You have to add something else.
Talk about that one.
We can get into that.
Because are you mad at the spot because she didn't wash the dishes?
We got to get into kiss and makeup. These are things we're going to talk about. If you guys are available to come back for one more session with the Gavins and the Kinseys to start, we started this session off right. And I want to talk about that. I want to talk about what happens when it's time to kiss and make up, right? I want to talk about that. And I want to talk about get into when you're doing business together, right? And home is just not right, or finances aren't right. You know, let's what are the strategies, and what is the plan? What is the contingency plan if the business fails, and finances, and what happens? Because a lot of people don't realize that's not married or haven't been married or in a long-term relationship. When life happens, boy, do it happen. Yeah. And you know, getting through, and becoming better, and having couple friends and stuff like that will help to strengthen and having that go-to. So I want to take these last few minutes while we're doing good. It's 9:33 because we cutting off. We're going to cut off in time, and this is going to close out the rest of the time. Okay. I'm going to start with the Gavins.
Which I want to lead the people.
You both to tell one another what it is that you love about them. And then I just want you to drop a love key to the people that are watching.
I love her because she's the calm in my storm.
I love him so many reasons, but he's my strength. He's my strength. You know, some moments and days I feel like I can't. When I cry, he's my strength. When I'm upset, he's my strength. When I'm weak, he's my strength.
And what's the nugget?
Real quick, when you're doing business together, 3 E's: no ego, no emotion,
period,
and realistic expectations.
Y'all better take that down and write it in your notes.
Keep your ego out of it, and let's not be emotional about it. Let's calculate this. Let's make sure if it makes sense. If it don't make sense, it can't make dollars.
Woo!
Yes.
Thank you.
All right now.
All right, Kenzie.
Oh, wait, 1 second. Great product. All those folks is stressed out there. I got the hemp product. if anybody wonders about my it's the CBD oil, a great company called HempWorks. They do an oil rub that gets all type of aches and pains out of you. If you're not into doing any kind of substances, you'll need all natural THC products. I recommend the tinctures. They have it in different qualities. Please check out the website. It's posted in the comments. Check out the products and let me know. Order through Nino Buds. That's the guy. That's my connection through My Daily Choice. Great products, y'all. I recommend everybody to try them out, from the muscle rub to the gummy bears.
Gotcha.
I got some CBD stuff. You like CBD? We got cases of it over here. Come get some.
Oh, all right. So we got to link up. I'm
plug
up.
We got you.
Now check me out.
And anything else you want to plug in, please, whatever you have your product. When you come next Tuesday, please have your product right there. If your book, whatever it is, come on, let's get this money. Let's let this money. The world goes round. This money.
They got the setup of the that's what it is. Come on, folks, let's get it.
He is ready and on display.
Oh yes,
let's get it.
We stay ready.
We all got to order. We all got to order from each other. That rotation. That's how that business.
So please have your product ready for next Tuesday.
Okay.
Now, Kenzie's, I need you guys to follow suit.
Okay.
They want the 3 E's again.
So I'll be honest with you. I'm taking that, bro. So I'm just letting you know. I'm gonna give you your product. I'm taking the wild original right here.
Now, what is it? No ego,
no emotion, and
no excessive, realistic
expectations. That's what's up.
Wow.
As far as my wife, like I love her passion, her persistence.
Hold on, did he freeze?
The fact that with me and the 4 people she put that with me and the 4 people inside me that come out at any given time. So but she's just a beautiful soul, man. I'm just like, and I realize it the more and more we're around people and how people just gravitate to her. Like I sit back and I be like, yo, you good looking. That's all I can say. I look to the man and I'm just like, good looking out. And so, and the nugget I would say is as far as relationship, because everything Ross said not only applies to business, but it applies to relationship. Like you can't have pride in a relationship. Like this is who you going with, whether it's your girlfriend and you moving toward
all the pride.
Right, yeah, exactly. So like if in a relationship or in business, like you just gotta be open. You gotta be open and honest with one another, and you gotta have a good communication relationship where nothing's off the table. I mean, that's just how I feel. Like we talk, we have our moments where we ding ding. You go in your corner, you go in yours, and we'll meet back in the middle. Because sometimes we agree to disagree, and I just like, all right, we'll talk about it another time. But I just, everything about her is what I love, and I just, I know I went through what I went through to get to this point.
Wow. And what about you, Miss Tona? What is it you want for your hubby?
And next time you need to have like a little time thing behind you to stop me, because I'll just keep going.
I'll stop. I'm the queen of cut your time.
Yeah, you gotta get a wrap it up box for me.
Yeah.
You were fine.
For myself, I must say that I told my husband a long time ago, in the 2 relationships I had prior to him with my children's father, that I always wanted a man that had certain qualities. So when I met him and we were dating and going through situations, I was like, there was a makeup of certain things that I wanted in a man. And I told him, I said, yeah, everything I wanted that and I never had prior to me meeting you. So he was everything I always wanted in a man that I never had. He shows me patience. He shows me kindness. He shows me love.
Wow.
And that's something that I appreciate. I pray every single day and every single night for my husband because I always didn't feel this way. I never wanted to be a wife because my mother and my father divorced. And what I saw was something ugly. And I never wanted to get married until I found this man that had all of the qualities that I always wanted in a man.
Beautiful.
Amen.
Yeah, your money's on the table. Good job.
Oh, well, you know what?
Okay.
I would say as we prepare to close out, I would say wait, go ahead, you go first. Stay off your text message. You want to show.
Love you, babe. I love you, babe. I love you, babe. Love you, babe. Love you. Love you. Love you. Love you. Love you.
He do though, because this morning I was like, I didn't brush my teeth yet. He just like, I'm glad to see you today. I'm like,
That's right.
That's right. That's the real test, okay?
yeah, but it's a blessing, and I just say like, only God can allow somebody to love me as much as He loves me. So, sometimes there are no words. There's no words when, one thing we always say on this show, and I share with the sisters, and the sisters always talk so much about it. When a good man comes and takes care of a broken woman without judgment, it's only could be a man that God sent to her, because no one has those patience for a human being but God.
Yeah.
And the same way, for a man to choose a woman in his brokenness, only God could have had that man have eyes for that woman. So when you found your good thing was God knowing that she was going to be able to cradle you when you needed to be cradled without being humiliated in front of others, and have a safe space for you forever. So when God puts marriages together, that's why the Bible says no one should come between them.
Yes, right.
Because we are all so flawed and so broken and been through so much. And when God put two people together to heal, whatever it is, because it doesn't have to be, when I say broken, women be like, oh, every woman ain't broken. I'm not talking, it could be childhood trauma.
That's right.
It can be an experience. It can be relationship. It can be disappointments. It can be bullying. Whatever it is that those two people faced, when God brought us together, and we are all Christian marriages, right?
Yes.
Amen.
People see these strengths because God is the center of what He put together.
Amen. Amen.
And thank you for being godly men.
Yes, thank you.
Because godly men,
And
godly men, it's a difference.
Yes, totally different.
Absolutely.
Godly men is who will stick with you, who will understand you, your changes. Tonight, you guys, we talked about the disappointments of not being able to bear children, losing children, co-parenting children, running businesses together. But then we came back around to say what keeps us together and what is the strength in this marriage. This is our platform. It's Kitchen Table Talk. I want to thank our guests, the Kinsleys and the Gavins.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Greg, and I promise you, we'll keep you for 1 hour next week. It'll only be 1 hour, but I'm just asking, whatever your product is or your service, have it ready to present, because I just believe in, if we're doing business together, we've talked the love talk, now let's talk the money talk. And thank you guys for being with us, and we truly appreciate you. And you have a wonderful night.
Be blessed.
Be blessed, guys.
Be blessed, man.
So now, guys, as these couples as these couples leave, I want to say thank you guys for being here with hubby and I for another Tuesday night with Kitchen Table Talk with the Bookers. And next week, yes, for 1 hour, we're going to have those guests back with their products and services. And I'm glad you enjoyed yourself, Hope, and all of you that watched, even if you didn't leave a comment. We really, truly appreciate you guys being with us here on Tuesday. We utilize this platform to bring people closer and continue to build our village of networking and showing that God still honors marriages, he honors love. And those of us that are doing businesses, those of you that are creatives, we are here for you. We are the Bookers. We love you guys. This is what we do. This is what we enjoy doing. And we just say God bless you and have a wonderful night. God
Been that way for so long, the sight became familiar. Lately your love came in just like a knife. Been that way for so long, the sight became familiar. Lately your love came in just like a